Hey everybody, Drew with Because Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to be going over a few different interesting or uncommon chokes from the top position in a few different positions. One from half guard, one from side control, and one that can be done from mount. So these may not be many people's A games, but I know at least one person by name for each of these where it is their A game. And it's because they're uncommon. So people, A, may have never seen it before, B, don't know what to do when they're in it, and it's, I guess, C, just get trapped. Like they don't understand what's going on before they have to tap. Sometimes they'll be like, I was fine, and then I was being choked. So anytime you can find some way to get somebody into that situation, you're going to have a higher finish rate because they just waited too long and they don't realize it. So let's get into it. Okay, the first one we're going to be going over here, some people call it a shoulder pressure choke, or it's more commonly referred to as a Von Flew. This one happens when you get past their guard and they have your head, and essentially it would have been a guillotine if they had any form of guard, where this hand is here. Usually they already had this in place while you were passing and you end up here. Oftentimes people will just hold on to this if they don't know what else to do because they just feel like they've got some semblance of control. And that's great. All I need to do now is I'm going to take this arm that's down by his legs, and first things first, I'm going to jam it like this so my shoulder is pinching his hand in place. If Alvin tries to get his arm out, it's stuck now. I'm making sure he can't get that out because that's part of the choke. Now, to get this choke set up with my connection, I want to get this arm that's under his head palm to the ground. That's important as well. I don't want it palm up, I need it palm down. Then I'm going to slide my other one underneath it, connecting in a gable grip right here, just clapping our hands together. Now, I'm going to bring my weight down and out, and I want to drive everything through that shoulder that's over top of his throat this way. This one's going to be a very nice, thick blood choke. It will come on not necessarily fast, but it could be like a 1, 2, 3 second choke, and sometimes it can take 12 seconds to get this thing going. But as long as you have that pressure and you maintain that pressure, wait it out. It costs you very little energy to use this. There's a lot of gravity involved, so it's a good one to allow to mature for a bit. So again, I'm getting in this guillotine, or I started in this guillotine when I passed the guard. I'm going to connect my shoulder tight like this against his arm so he can't get it out at the wrist. I got palm down on this side, connect. I'm going to come out like this, nice and low, and I'm going to turn all my pressure, driving through my toes into this shoulder over his neck right here. All right, the next one is going to be an uncommon version of a guillotine choke called a side guillotine. Now this one, we're going to start in half guard for this demo. It can be done from side control as well, but I like it from half guard because, again, they don't expect it. They might not be expecting to get choked from here. I'm going to, well, Alvin is playing safe here, keeping his frames in place. Loop this one around his hand right here and then make a fist. This hand is going to have a fist right here. Once I've got that there, this hand, importantly, is going to come on the inside. I don't want it cupped underneath his arm like an arm-in guillotine. It needs to be an arm-out guillotine. So I'm reaching like this, making my fist. I make sure to slide this in between our body, keeping the arm out of play. And now, lastly, I'm going to turn a little bit. I'm going to drop to my side on this side so that my lat muscle here is going to press hard and heavy. Lots of downward pressure on the side of his neck up here. Right here. As I drop, I want to try to crush his head into the ground, and then the actual choke is going to be cupping that ball that we made and pulling up, closing a scissor on either side of his neck. So we're crushing down and then pulling up. We're here, we've turned, we got that lat pressure, we made that ball, cupping the connection, dropping down and pulling up against that for the tap. So one more time, we're here, we loop around, we're going to come tight through here, making sure there's no arm in the way, making a ball with the fist on the choking arm, and cupping it underneath that ball right here on that applying arm. Now we're going to turn, dropping our hip to the ground, lat very heavy on the neck, trying to crush that head into the ground and pull the ball up to finish. The last one we're going to apply from full mount. Now this one is good in gi and no gi, just like all these ones are. This one's particularly easy to hit in no gi, just for the sake of cloths and collars and stuff that may get in the way. But it can be done from half guard as well. We're just going to show it from mount for simplicity. So this one's going to be called a punch choke, where we're going to take one arm underneath the head, and I need to get this thing tight because my bicep needs to cut off this side of his neck. So don't get lazy on this first arm. It comes in nice and tight. Sometimes you can push right here to make sure it's tight on that side. This hand here now is going to act similar to an Ezekiel. If I were to have a collar grabbing a sleeve grabbing right here, that I could circle around for an Ezekiel, but I'm just going to cup the outside of my wrist right here, which is going to add an actuation lever right here, a point that I can apply some downward pressure that I'm going to put through these two little knuckles on my hand, right to the side of his neck where that carotid artery is. Once it connects, I want to grind down. So I'm actually using wrist motion like this when I make my connection. So we're here, we're putting that fist right tight and really pulling in with both of these, punching in against the throat, then rocking those knuckles down into the carotid right there. So one more time, we're getting that nice and tight against the throat. We're going to grab the outside of our fist, putting those two tiny knuckles tight against the side of his neck, and then rocking down for our finish. This one works even a little bit better if you can get them up on their side right here, because then you can use some gravity pushing down into it to get that finish. So there you go, there's 3 uncommon chokes from top controlling positions. Have fun with these ones, try them out. Make sure to practice them to understand the application before you try them in live rolling. But I promise you, once you get the application figured out and all of the levers and pressures, there are going to be some fun ones to get some maybe unsuspecting taps. So I hope those work well for you. Make sure to drop some comments if you've got any questions, and subscribe to see the next videos. We'll see you then.